Aquarius, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your small story reading for the month of February. So for those of you who are new, in the small story readings, I choose a book off the shelf that seems to want to speak to you, turn to a passage at random, and I'll read that to you. And then we will look to the cards to further illuminate the story that's coming through. So today, Aquarius, interestingly, the anatomy coloring book wants to talk to you. All right, so there's something for some reason very Aquarian in this energy to me. There's a playfulness in the learning process of spending time with something, coloring it in order to understand it, or in order to solidify your familiarity with it in a playful, meditative sort of way. And then the part of the anatomy book that I turned to is talking about the nervous system, specifically talking about synapses, which are the connections between nerve cells in the brain, the connections between neurons. Okay, so if this is a neuron, there's the nerve cell. I'm going to read this little bit about the anatomy of a synapse, which is shown here. It says, connections among neurons are called synapses. Synapses are means by which excitatory or inhibitory transmissions can be made from one or more neurons to others. One or two synapses among neurons make possible simple reflex arcs between sensory input and motor output. That's shown here. One or more connections between neurons will send a motor message, for example, for a hand to grasp something. Okay. And you need multiple connections to make that action happen. I think that's part of the message that's coming through here. Let's see. Yes, multiple synapses greatly increase the available options of nervous activity. It's a central part of this message coming through for you already, I think. The ability to integrate, coordinate, associate, and modify sensory input and memories of previous experiences to achieve a desired motor muscular response is directly related to the number of synapses within the brain and spinal cord. And that number is like 10, well over 10 billion, maybe even zillion. So again, multiple synapses greatly increase the available options of nervous activity. The ability to integrate, coordinate, associate, and modify sensory input and memories of previous experiences to achieve a desired motor response is directly related to the number of synapses within the brain and spinal cord. So the greater the number of connections, the greater the output, the greater the chance of being able to have an actionable muscular motor effect on something. I think that's what's coming through here for you, Aquarius. There's like, I get feelings of like creating a network or making the connections in order to send an impulse, in order to have a direct effect. There's something about the numbers needed in a network to create a robust system. It's such Aquarian energy. It's so funny that is particularly out of all of the anatomy in that book, that's what came through. And you know, Aquarian, you're an air sign. Air signs are associated with mental processes, especially in the tarot. The air element is the element of the swords, which is all about the mind and the workings of these neurons and synapses and electrical impulses to have an effect on thought processes and and therefore have a very physical, tangible effect out in the world. So it's just really fascinating. Okay, we're gonna go to the El Goliath Shadow deck now to see if we can further parse out what exactly these synapses making the connections, what does this have to do with the story coming through for Aquarius. I'm just going to spread out these cards and choose 3. 1, 2, 3. See what we've got for you, Aquarius. Okay, interesting. Here you are, look at this. Funny enough, we have no swords in the story so far. The 4 of Cups, the wandering mind, W-O-N-D, wander, to wonder. The 5 of Wands, the jagged union, and the Fool, which in this deck it says the eternal vagabond. To me, this is your energy here. Hold on, Aquarius. I'm just making sure that that's right. Yeah, this is you. This is you. I keep hearing like, caught between a rock and a hard place. It's like, this is your energy here. One half of you is bored to tears or like really sick of whatever current energy that you are in, feeling stagnant, feeling like you're stuck here emotionally, especially with the cups, the water element. Feeling like you're stuck, you're looking at the future, it's looking kind of bleak. It's looking, at the very least, it's looking unknown to you. Like this crystal ball's just not talking. It's just not talking. Your normal ability to access what comes next and feel excited about the future and feel that sense of like vitality and motivation, it's just not there. And so here you are just kind of like passed out on a book, passed out on the couch maybe. You know, it's depressive in nature, this energy in its stagnation. It's like the feeling of not knowing how to move forward, nor even really having the motivation or energy to do that, is part of what feels like this energy sort of like drawing you down. So that's one part of you. And then the other part of you is like deeply desiring something brand new, a brand new start, a brand new leap of faith to just like go on a new adventure, the eternal vagabond. You know, it's like, it feels to me like the Aquarian I'm talking to, you're always sort of being torn between these two energies within yourself. The part of you that just wants to leap off of a cliff because you don't want to be in this energy. And when you find yourself in this sort of stagnant and emotional energy, is especially when you're like itching for a complete new adventure and you just want to like jump off a cliff into something completely new, because that is going to be to you, maybe that is going to be the answer that's going to move you out of this energy. What I'm seeing here is 2 extremes, from one extreme to the other. And then right in the middle of all of this, the thing that seems to be maybe stopping you from transitioning from this state of being into this state of being, which I'm feeling is like the preferred state of being for you here. It's like you want to do something new, you want to try something new, you want to jump off the cliff, take a leap of faith into an entire new adventure. But for some reason you're stuck here, and I think it's because of this energy here with the 5 of Wands. This is labeled the jagged union. There's something, union speaks to me of like energies that are trying to come together, but for some reason they cannot meet. Interesting, now bringing in the passage about synapses, the connections are not being made. Jagged union. because it's like you're both spiky about something. And so, you know, maybe this is you and a person in your life, or maybe this is just the energy that you are finding yourself in, of like not really being able to come to a consensus, not being able to come together on something. I just saw 1111, not being able to come to a consensus. Feels more like the energy, which is creating this jagged union. To me, the Five of Wands talks about energy of like, everybody's got an opinion, and so nobody's really getting anywhere. You know, there's like a lot of cooks in the kitchen and a lot of like ideas and opinions and thoughts on the table. And because of that, it's like this messy part of the process where everyone's just kind of like, what do we do? How do we move this forward? For some reason, we're unable to come together because of this spiky energy, maybe in a relationship. That is what is preventing. It's like that's what's preventing these two energies within you from working together to bring you out of this stagnant sensation, stagnant emotional place. Or maybe these are jumping out to you more as like characters in your life, you know, like this is me and this is the person I'm in relationship with, and we are in completely different energies here. I'm ready to jump off the cliff in this leap of faith, and this person is just like overwhelmed, exhausted, feeling unmotivated, feeling malaise. And there is this spiky, difficult energy between us that is preventing us from coming together on this. That's one way of looking at it. But really, Aquarius, if we read this linearly, it's like you're in this stagnant place, working through this jagged union, and maybe even like getting out of the briar patch, you know, like extricating yourself from this jagged energy, and then you're free to take a leap of faith in a new direction, to go on a new adventure. I'm feeling really strongly, Aquarius, that this description, the eternal vagabond, is like for the specific Aquarian that I'm speaking to here, and this is not going to resonate for everyone. This eternal vagabond is like very much your spirit. If there was a phrase that could describe your ideal way of moving through the world, it would be as this eternal vagabond. Taking leaps, jumping into the unknown, going on new adventures. Free, really, really free-spirited energy. And so, Aquarius, if that is true, and you are currently being held in place, no wonder you're feeling like depressive. No wonder you're feeling like I can't live the life I'm meant to live. And that's causing this tension. Maybe even causing you to be quite spiky. There's something else trying to come through here, Aquarius. I'm not sure. Maybe it will come out in the extended. All right. So before we get into that extended, I'm going to leave you here with some portable fortitude from this gorgeous deck by Karina Dross. If you are interested in the extended, because this reading seems to be resonating with you, Aquarius, stick around. I'm going to put a little preview at the end of this reading that's going to give you a glimpse into what we get into. And if it's still resonating with you, click the link in the description box below and that'll take you over to Vimeo where you can view this extended reading instantly. Okay. All right, Aquarius, let's get you a card of protection from the portable fortitude. What's the final message in this part of the reading for Aquarius? I just keep hearing stuck, stuck, stuck. Stuck in this briar patch, this jagged union. Stuck, stuck, stuck. Okay, one more shuffle and then I'll just cut the deck. It always happens. They always come out when I do that. Okay. Interesting. Oh, beautiful, Aquarius. Protection from the abyss. I love this card. It's one of my favorites in this deck. And then we have protection from diseases of the skin. What's coming through here? Okay, there's a little story happening. Go with me. There's something coming up from the abyss. The abyss. I see this as like the darkness at the bottom of the ocean because we've got this beautiful jellyfish pardon me, rising up from the depths. Something is rising up from the unconscious now to be seen in the surface level, which would be the skin level. You know, it's like there's schools of thought that when something arises out, you know, schools of thought in like the healing arts, that when by the time something reveals itself on the level of the skin in the form of some sort of rash or something like that, some sort of dryness or skin condition, it's because it's a symptom of something much more underlying that has made its way to the surface now. So it's like whatever's on your skin on the surface is a reflection, a surface level reflection of something much deeper going on. That's the very specific message that's coming through these cards for you, Aquarius. Pay attention to the things that are bubbling up, rising up to the surface of your awareness. Don't dismiss them as, oh, it's just a rash, or it's just some dryness, it's just some irritation. No, Aquarius, I think like metaphorically speaking, this is I'm not talking about like literal rashes unless that's applicable for someone. I'm feeling this more like as a metaphor for something emotional going on. Whatever is happening on the surface, I think, is trying to signal to you something much deeper going on in your subconscious that's trying to make its way to the surface. I think, you know, in my experience, when we get into these sort of depressive malaise states, it's because something is trying to come through us. Something is trying to come up to the surface, and it's like, it's all sort of dark and obscure. It's almost like I'm seeing this lion gazing into the abyss. But something's trying to come through. You could even see this little like white shiny part as this jellyfish. See what I'm seeing? Trying to come through. It's trying to come through, and maybe you're even just like watching water boil, you know, like looking at it like, what is it? What is it? Come on, subconscious, reveal it to me. Reveal it to me already. This is big time Mercury retrograde in Pisces kind of energy. And, you know, Mercury will, pardon me, will retrograde through Aquarius as well. Something's trying to come to the surface. I just got the image of this sort of cactusy plant. If you were to slice it, it's jagged on the outside. If you were to slice it open, there might be a salve, an ointment, a liquid on the inside of this plant that would actually be the ointment for healing. But you'd need to slice it open. You'd need to just go right into it. Go right into the heart of this and get to the juicy bits inside. And I think if you do, you'll find this energy at the heart of the issue, which is you and your desires and your needs for freedom. Okay, Aquarius, we've got to get into the extended now, so we're going to do that. Maybe I'll see you over there. But regardless, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please do click that like button. Maybe leave me a comment. Let me know how it's resonating with you. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that we can stay connected moving forward. All right, Aquarius, take care, and I'll talk to you soon. You can't open the door and leave. You can't just open the door and jump, leap into a whole new life for yourself, because you have responsibilities. You have a sense of duty. You have a sense of responsibility. But the Ten of Wands talks about those sense of duties becoming a burden, getting to the point where they're weighing you down. And taking that leap of faith and making that kind of a choice, maybe to exit a situation and start over, start from like nothing but the shirt on your back and you flying through the air, would mean you've got to put a lot of responsibility down. And I think there's a part of you, Aquarius, that desperately wants to do that. Desperately just wants to screw all your responsibilities, all of the things that you have put onto yourself in your life, or the things that have been put on you through this job or through this relationship. I think there's a part of you, and that's the part of you that maybe is trying to come to the surface and that like you really are afraid to acknowledge, that really could just say bye.